The ship Harmony's Edge moved through space like a giant metal whale. Inside its white halls, Captain Bora walked with quick steps. Her 6 legs clicked on the floor as she moved. Her insect-like eyes looked at the reports on her tablet. 2. Specimen secured, she read aloud. Her voice had a buzzing sound that came from her throat. Both alive and healthy. The mission had been simple. Find the new species. Take some samples. Study them. Report back to the Coalition. Earth was just another planet with life on it. Nothing special. The beings there barely had space travel. They were primitive. In the holding area, 2 humans sat in separate cells. The cells were clean and white. They had beds, food, and water. The Coalition always treated their subjects well. They were not cruel. Jin Woo sat on his bed with his knees pulled up to his chest. He was young, maybe 25 years old. His black hair was messy, his eyes were red from crying. He kept looking at the door, hoping someone would come and tell him this was all a mistake. In the cell next to him, Dae-hyun sat perfectly still. He was older, maybe 40. His hair was short and neat. His back was straight. His hands rested on his knees. He had not spoken since they brought him to the ship 3 days ago. He just watched everything with dark, calm eyes. Dr. Tae-min came into the holding area. He was tall and thin with green skin that looked wet. His species came from a water world. He carried a tablet and some strange tools. "Good morning," he said, to both humans. His voice was soft and kind. "I hope you slept well. I am Dr. Tae-min. I study different species. I want to learn about your people." Jin-woo looked up quickly. "Please," he said in broken Coalition language. "I want to go home. My family will worry about me. My mother is sick, she needs me." Dr. Tae-min made notes on his tablet. "Interesting. You show care for family members not present. This suggests emotional bonds beyond immediate survival needs. I have a job," Jin-woo continued. "I work at a school, I teach children. They will wonder where I am." "You educate your young collectively, not just your own offspring?" Dr. Tae-min seemed excited by this. Fascinating social structure. Dae-hyun said nothing. He watched the doctor write on his tablet. His eyes followed every movement. He noticed how the doctor held his tools. He saw which pocket the doctor put his access card in. "And you?" Dr. Tae-min turned to Dae-hyun. "What is your function in human society?" Silence. "Perhaps he is damaged," Dr. Tae-min said to himself. Some species become non-responsive when removed from their environment. Jin-woo shook his head. "No, he is not damaged. He does not like to talk to strangers." "What is his role? His job?" Jin-woo looked at Dae-hyun. The older man's eyes met his for a moment. Jin-woo saw something there that made him feel both scared and safe at the same time. "He was a soldier," Jin-woo said quietly. Dr. Tae-min made more notes. "Military function. Do your people have conflicts with each other?" "Sometimes," Jin-woo admitted. But Dae-hyun fought to protect people, to keep peace. Interesting paradox, using violence to prevent violence. Dr. Tae-min put away his tablet. "I will return tomorrow for more questions." After the doctor left, Jin-woo moved closer to the wall between their cells. "Dae-hyun," he whispered in Korean, "why don't you talk to them?" Dae-hyun looked at him. When he spoke, his voice was quiet and calm. "Because I am listening." "Listening to what?" "Everything." The next day, Security Chief Hana came to see them. She looked like she was made of blue crystal. Light moved through her body like water. She was beautiful but cold. "The doctor says you are not dangerous," she said to both humans. "But I want to be sure. My job is to keep this ship safe." She pointed a device at them. It made a soft humming sound. "No weapons, no hidden tools." "Good." Jin-woo tried to stand, up straight like he thought a brave person should. "We are not dangerous, we just want to go home." "Maybe," Hana said. "But your planet sent signals after you disappeared. They are looking for you." Dae-hyun's eyes became more focused, but he still said nothing. "Should we be worried about your people coming here?" Hana asked. Jinwoo thought about this. My people are good. They would try to save us, yes, but they would not hurt you if you let us go. Hana made a sound like crystal breaking. It might have been laughter. Your people barely have faster than light travel. This ship could destroy 100 of your vessels. She walked away, but her words hung in the air. That evening, Captain Bora visited them. She was bigger than the others, with thick armor covering her insect body. Her voice was strong and commanding. I am Captain Bora. This is my ship. I decide what happens to you. Jinwoo tried to bow the way his grandfather had taught him to show respect. Captain, we are honored to meet you, but we wish to return to our families. That may happen, Captain Bora said. First, we must learn about your species. The coalition must decide if humans are ready to join the galactic community. What does that mean? Jinwoo asked. It means we decide if you are civilized enough to talk to other species, or if you are too primitive and need our protection. Daehyun's hands tightened slightly on his knees, but he remained quiet. Your planet has many nations, yes? Captain Bora continued. Many languages, many conflicts? Jinwoo nodded. Yes, but we are working toward peace. We have organizations that try to help all humans work together. Primitive, Captain Bora said with certainty. Advanced species have unity. One government, one language, one purpose. Maybe diversity makes us stronger, Jinwoo said quietly. Captain Bora's compound eyes focused on him. Impossible. Diversity creates conflict. Conflict creates weakness. After she left, Jinwoo felt hopeless. These aliens thought humans were stupid and primitive. They talked about humans like they were animals in a zoo. Daehyun, he whispered in Korean, what do we do? Daehyun was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, we wait. For what? For them to make a mistake. Outside their cells, the ship continued its journey through space. The aliens thought they had captured two simple creatures from a backward world. They had no idea that one of their prisoners was already planning, already learning, already counting the days until someone would come looking for two missing humans. Daehyun closed his eyes, but he did not sleep. In his mind, he was building a map of the ship, counting the crew, noting their weaknesses and waiting. More days passed on the Harmony's edge. Jinwoo had stopped crying, but he still talked to anyone who would listen. He told them about his students, his mother, his small apartment near the school. He drew pictures of Earth on the wall with his finger, mountains, oceans, cities. Daehyun remained silent. He ate his food. He did his exercises. He watched. Dr. Taemin came every day with new questions. He was kind but curious in a way that made Jinwoo uncomfortable. The doctor looked at humans the way Jinwoo might look at an interesting insect. Tell me about human reproduction, Dr. Taemin said one morning. Jinwoo's face turned red. That is very personal. All knowledge is useful, Dr. Taemin said. Do humans mate for life? How many offspring do you produce? It depends, Jinwoo said, quietly. Some people have one partner forever. Some have many partners in their life. Some people never want partners at all. Dr. Taemin typed quickly on his tablet. More diversity, very inefficient. Maybe, Jinwoo said, but it makes people happy. Happiness is not logical. Jinwoo looked at the doctor with surprise. Don't your people feel happiness? We feel satisfaction when we complete our duties. That is enough. In his cell, Daehyun listened to this conversation. He made mental notes about each species he met. The Korathi, like Dr. Taemin, seemed to live for duty and knowledge. They were predictable. The insect-like Veltarians, like Captain Bora, thought in terms of the group, not the individual. The Crystal Zephyrians, like Security Chief Hana, were focused on order and control. All of them thought in straight lines. None of them seemed to understand that humans could be many different things at the same time. A new alien arrived that day. Subin was small and gray with large black eyes. She moved without making sound. When she looked at the humans, Jinwoo felt like she was looking inside his head. I am Subin, she said. Her voice appeared in their minds instead of their ears. I am a diplomat. I read thoughts and feelings. Jinwoo pressed his hands to his head. Please don't read my mind. I cannot help it, Subin said. Your thoughts are very loud. You think about home constantly. You worry about people you love. She turned to Daehyun. But your mind is quiet, controlled. What are you hiding? Daehyun looked at her with calm eyes but said nothing. Subin stepped closer to his cell. I can sense discipline, training, but also something else, something patient. Still no response. He was a soldier, Jinwoo said quickly. Soldiers are trained to be disciplined. This is more than discipline, Subin said. She backed away from Daehyun's cell. This is preparation. Dr. Taemin arrived with more testing equipment. Subin, perfect timing. I want to test human neural responses. They brought Jinwoo to a medical room first. The room was bright, white with strange machines. Dr. Taemin attached small devices to Jinwoo's head. This will not hurt, he said. I am just measuring how your brain works. The machines hummed and beeped. Dr. Taemin watched the readings with growing interest. Fascinating, he said. Your neural pathways are very complex, more complex than species with much larger brains. Is that good or bad? Jinwoo asked. It was unexpected. Your people pack more thinking power into smaller space. Very efficient. Subin tried to read Jinwoo's deeper thoughts while the machines worked. I see memories, she said. Many memories. Your species remembers everything, not just facts but feelings attached to those facts. Of course, Jinwoo said. Don't you remember how things made you feel? We remember what happened. Emotions are not important for memory. For us, emotions are part of memory. They help us learn from experience. Dr. Taemin made more notes. When they tested Daehyun, the results were even more interesting. His brain activity was different from Jinwoo's. Where Jinwoo's thoughts jumped around like an excited child, Daehyun's moved in organized patterns. Military training changes the brain structure, Dr. Taemin observed. Your neural pathways are like a weapon that thinks. Subin tried to read Daehyun's mind but pulled back quickly. There are walls, she said. Mental barriers I cannot get through. Can you break through? Dr. Taemin asked. I do not want to try. There is something dangerous behind those walls. Back in their cells, Jinwoo felt scared. They think we're dangerous now. Daehyun spoke quietly in Korean. We are dangerous. Every intelligent species is dangerous when threatened. But we don't want to hurt anyone. Neither do most dangerous things until they have no other choice. The ship's maintenance android, Woojin, came to clean their area. He looked almost human but moved in ways that were too perfect, too smooth. His eyes glowed with soft blue light. You are the humans, Woojin said. I am curious about you. Are you alive? Jinwoo asked. I think, therefore I exist. Is that not the same thing? Jinwoo smiled, a robot that knows philosophy. I learn from all the species on this ship, but you humans are different. You create art for no practical purpose. You laugh when nothing is funny. You cry for people you have never met. Those things make life worth living, Jinwoo said, but they serve no survival function. Maybe survival isn't the only important thing. Woojin processed this. The other species do not understand this concept. They think you are broken. What do you think? Jinwoo asked. I think you might be more advanced than they realize. That night, Captain Bora called a meeting with her senior officers. Through the ship's communication system, Daehyun could hear parts of their conversation. The humans are more complex than expected, Dr. Taemin was saying. Their brains are remarkably efficient. But they are still primitive, Captain Bora replied. They barely have space travel. Intelligence and technology are not the same thing, Subin added. The Silent One has mental training I have never encountered. He could resist interrogation by species far more advanced than us. One soldier cannot threaten this ship, Security Chief Hana said. Perhaps not, Subin replied. But what if their entire species thinks like soldiers when threatened? Captain Bora made a decision. We will return to Earth, we need more specimens, and we need to evaluate their military capabilities. What if they resist? Dr. Taemin asked. Then we will show them the difference between their technology and ours. In his cell, Da-hyun heard every word. His expression did not change, but something shifted behind his eyes. For the first time since his capture, he spoke without being asked a question. His voice was quiet, almost a whisper, but it carried clearly through the ship's recycled air. You're all dead. The words hung in the silence like a promise. Jin-woo stared at him with wide eyes. The maintenance android stopped cleaning. Somewhere in the ship, Subin felt a chill that had nothing to do with temperature, but the command crew dismissed it as the empty threat of a powerless prisoner. They had no idea that Dae-hyun was not making a threat. He was making a prediction. The words, "You're all dead," spread through the ship like a virus. Some crew members laughed, others felt uncomfortable. Captain Bora called it the desperate words of a trapped animal, but Subin could not forget the feeling she got when Dae-hyun spoke. It was not anger or fear, it was certainty. The kind of certainty that came from knowledge, not emotion. Dr. Taemin increased his studies. He wanted to understand what made humans different. Jin-woo answered questions about human history, and the answers worried the doctor more each day. Your species has survived ice ages, plagues, wars, natural disasters, Dr. Taemin said. How? We adapt, Jin-woo said simply. When things get bad, we find new ways to survive. But adaptation takes thousands of years. Not for humans. We can adapt in one generation, sometimes in one lifetime. Dr. Taemin pulled up records of other species. Most civilizations develop peacefully once they reach a certain level of technology. They stop having wars. We still have conflicts, Jin-woo admitted. But we also have more peace than ever before. We're learning. Learning what? That working together is better than fighting alone. This confused Dr. Taemin. Most species either fought constantly or had complete peace. Humans seemed to do both at the same time. In the ship's database, Dr. Taemin found more information about Earth. The planet was harsher than most worlds with intelligent life. Extreme weather, dangerous animals, diseases, earthquakes, volcanoes. Most species with such violent homeworlds never developed beyond basic survival. But humans had not just survived. They had thrived. Security Chief Hana ran more scans on both humans. The results made her nervous. Their bodies are built for stress, she told Captain Bora. Most species become weaker under pressure. Humans become stronger. Impossible. Look at the data. Their heart rates, brain activity, muscle tension, everything increases when they face danger. They are designed for crisis. Captain Bora studied the readings. Primitive survival instincts. Maybe, but the soldier has been under stress for days. He should be breaking down. Instead, he seems to be getting calmer. They watched Dae-hyun through the security cameras. He sat in perfect stillness, but his eyes tracked every movement outside his cell. He had memorized the guard rotations, the meal schedules, the maintenance cycles. He is learning our patterns, Hana observed. Learning for what? He cannot escape. I don't think he's planning to escape. Then what? Hana had no answer, but she increased security anyway. The ship received new orders from Coalition Command. They were to return to Earth and establish first contact protocols. The Coalition wanted to see if humans could be useful as a client species. Client species? Jin-woo asked when Dr. Taemin explained this. Young civilizations that serve older, wiser ones. You would be protected and guided by the Coalition. What if we don't want protection? Dr. Taemin looked confused. All species want protection. Not all species, Dae-hyun said quietly. It was the first time he had spoken in days. Everyone turned to look at him. Some species prefer freedom, he continued in his calm voice. Freedom without guidance leads to chaos, Dr. Taemin said. Does it? Dae-hyun asked. Or does it lead to strength? Subin entered the room at that moment. She had been trying to contact Earth using the ship's communication system. Her gray face looked troubled. "I cannot reach their planet," she announced. "Why?" "Not?" Captain Bora asked. "The communication channels are blocked, but not by technology I recognize." "Equipment failure?" "No, this is deliberate interference. Something is preventing signals from reaching Earth." Dr. Taman looked at the humans. "Is your planet capable of blocking galactic communications?" Jinwoo looked confused. "I don't know, I'm just a teacher." All eyes turned to Daehyun. He said, "Nothing." "Answer the question," Captain Bora demanded. "You didn't ask me a question," Daehyun replied. The tension in the room grew thick. Captain Bora's compound eyes fixed on the human soldier. "Can your species block our communications?" "Yes." The simple answer sent chills through the aliens. If humans could interfere with coalition technology, they were not as primitive as they appeared. "How?" Dr. Taemin asked. Daehyun looked at him with something that might have been pity. "You've been studying us for days. You should know by now. Humans are very good at finding weaknesses." Wu Jin, the maintenance android, had been listening from the doorway. "The humans have been here for 6 days," he said. "Earth had time to notice they were missing." "So?" Captain Bora said. "So they know something took their people. They are preparing." "For what?" Security Chief Hana asked. "War," Daehyun said quietly. The word hung in the air like a curse. The aliens looked at each other with growing concern. "Impossible," Captain Bora said. "They cannot fight the coalition. We have thousands of worlds, millions of ships." "Numbers don't win wars," Daehyun said. "Strategy does. Preparation does. Will does. You speak as if your people could defeat us." Daehyun was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was soft but clear. "Every day you keep us here, my people learn more about you. They study your technology from the signals you send. They analyze your ship design from the metal fragments you leave behind. They decode your language from the communications they intercept." He paused, letting this sink in. "By now they know how you think, how you fight, how you die." Subin backed away from his cell. "Captain, I recommend we return these humans to their planet immediately." "We cannot show weakness," Captain Bora replied. "This isn't about weakness," Subin said urgently. "I can feel something building, something dangerous." Dr. Taemin checked his instruments. "I'm detecting unusual energy patterns at the edge of the system." "Natural phenomena?" Hana asked. "No. Artificial. Multiple sources." Captain Bora called up the sensor readings on the main screen. At first there was nothing. Then slowly, shapes began to appear. Ships. Many ships. They were not like the Harmony's Edge. These ships looked aggressive, built for fighting rather than exploration. They moved in formation with military precision. "Humans," Wu Jin said unnecessarily. Captain Bora activated the ship's defensive systems. "How many vessels?" "Scanning," Hana replied. After a moment, her crystalline form flickered with surprise. 15 ships. No, wait. 20. The number keeps changing. Changing how? They appear to be multiplying. Dr. Taemin ran to his instruments. "Impossible. You cannot create matter from nothing." Daehyun stood up in his cell for the first time in days. He walked to the energy barrier that kept him imprisoned and placed his hand against it. "You still don't understand," he said. "Understand what?" Captain Bora demanded. "Humans don't fight fair." The human fleet was now clearly visible on the sensors. The ships moved like hunters, spreading out to surround their prey. They were not larger than coalition vessels, but something about them felt wrong. Dangerous. "Open communication channels," Captain Bora ordered. "Channels are still blocked," Subin reported. "By them or by us. I don't know anymore." In his cell, Jin Woo looked at Daehyun with amazement. "They came for us." "They always do," Daehyun replied. "Even for just 2 people?" "Especially for just 2 people." Captain Bora heard this exchange. Your people would risk war for 2 individuals? Daehyun looked at her through the energy barrier. His dark eyes were calm but hard. My people don't leave anyone behind. The human fleet hung in space like a pack of metal wolves. 20 ships had become 30, then 40. The aliens could not understand how more ships kept appearing. They're not appearing, Dr. Taman said after studying the sensor data. They were always there, hidden. Hidden how? Security Chief Hana demanded. I don't know. Their stealth technology is beyond our understanding. Captain Bora stared at the screens. The human ships were smaller than coalition vessels, but they moved, with purpose. They surrounded the Harmony's edge like they had done this 1,000 times before. Surely they want to negotiate, Subin said hopefully. All civilized species prefer diplomacy to violence. Daehyun laughed softly. It was the first time anyone had heard him laugh. The sound was not pleasant. What's funny? Jinwoo asked in Korean. They think humans are civilized, Daehyun replied in the same language. Dr. Taman's universal translator caught the words. You are civilized. You have art, music, literature. Yes, Daehyun agreed. We also have war. But civilized species evolve beyond war. Who told you that? Dr. Taman paused. It is known. All advanced species abandon violence. Maybe, Daehyun said. But humans never had that choice. Our world tried to kill us every day. We learned to fight or we died. Fighting is not something we do, it's something we are. The communication system crackled to life. A human voice spoke in clear coalition standard. Coalition vessel Harmony's Edge. This is Admiral Ye Jin of the Earth Defense Fleet. You have taken 2 of our people. Return them now. Captain Bora activated. The reply system. This is Captain Bora. Your people are safe. We are conducting scientific research in accordance with Coalition First Contact protocols. Protocols? Admiral Yejin's voice was cold. You kidnapped civilians. We acquired specimens for study. This is standard procedure for newly discovered species. There was a long pause. When the human admiral spoke again, her voice was quieter, but somehow more frightening. Did you just call our people specimens? Captain Bora looked at her crew. Dr. Taman nodded encouragingly. This was normal diplomatic language. Yes, we treat all specimens with care and respect. The silence that followed was complete. Even the ship's engine seemed to quiet. Finally, Admiral Yejin spoke. Captain, you have made a serious mistake. Are you threatening us? Captain Bora asked. I'm informing you. The communication ended. Dr. Taman checked his instruments frantically. The human ships are doing something. Energy levels are rising. Weapons? Hana asked. Unknown. I've never seen energy patterns like this. In the holding area, Daehyun sat back down on his bed. He looked almost relaxed now. What's happening? Jinwoo asked nervously. They're getting ready. For what? For you to see why humans survived when smarter, stronger species died out. Woo Jin appeared in the doorway. The crew is frightened, he reported. They expected the humans to negotiate. Humans do negotiate, Daehyun said. But not with people. Who call them specimens? What will happen now? Now you learn the difference between civilization and weakness. On the bridge, Captain Bora tried to understand what the human ships were doing. They had not fired weapons. They had not moved closer. But somehow, the Harmony's Edge was now completely surrounded. Sensors detect no aggressive action, Hana reported. Then what are they waiting for? Captain Bora asked. Her answer came in the form of new contacts on the sensor screen. More human ships. Many more. They appeared all around the system as if they had materialized from nothing. How many? Captain Bora asked quietly. Over 100, Hana said. Her crystalline form was flickering rapidly, a sign of stress. Impossible. They don't have that many ships. Apparently they do. Dr. Taemin was running scans as fast as he could. Captain, these are not exploration vessels. They are pure warships, built for one purpose only. What purpose? Destroying other ships. Subin collapsed into a chair. I can feel them, she whispered. So many minds, all focused on one goal. What goal? Captain Bora asked. Getting their people back. The communication system activated again. This time the voice was different, younger but harder. Coalition vessel, this is Captain Dong Hyun. I command the rescue operation. You have 30 seconds to lower your shields and release our people. And if we refuse, Captain Bora asked, then we take them. You cannot board a coalition ship. We have laws, treaties. Your laws don't apply to kidnappers. Captain Bora felt panic rising in her throat. We are not kidnappers. We are scientists. You took people against their will. In human law, that makes you criminals. Dr. Taman pulled up legal databases on his tablet. They're right, he said with shock. By their legal standards, we have committed serious crimes. Their laws don't matter, Captain Bora said. Coalition law is supreme. Tell that to their fleet, Hana said. The 30 seconds passed. Nothing happened for a moment. Then the harmonies. Ed shook gently. What was that? Captain Bora demanded. They're docking, Hana said in disbelief. Multiple ships. They're attaching to our hull. How? Our shields are at maximum power. They're going through our shields. I don't understand how. In his cell, Daehyun stood up again. It's starting. What's starting? Jinwoo asked. The lesson. The ship shook again. This time it was stronger. Through the walls came the sound of cutting tools. The humans were not asking permission to board. They were making their own entrances. Deploy security teams, Captain Bora ordered. Captain, Hana said quietly, our weapons are not working. What do you mean? I mean our weapons will not fire. The humans have disabled them somehow. That's impossible. So was hiding a fleet of 100 ships, but they did that too. The cutting sounds grew louder. Then they heard new sounds. Boots in the corridors. Many boots moving with military precision. How many boarders? Captain Bora asked. Unknown. They've disabled our internal sensors too. Subin pressed her hands to her head. I can feel them. Trained minds. Disciplined. Dangerous. How dangerous? Dr. Tae-min asked. Imagine if someone built a species for war, then trained them from birth to be perfect soldiers. That's what's coming through our ship. In the holding area, footsteps approached. Jinwoo grabbed the bars of his cell. Someone's coming. Daehyun smiled. It was the first real smile anyone had seen from him. Yes, he said. Someone is. The footsteps stopped outside their area. There was a brief sound of energy tools. Then the door opened. 3 figures entered. They wore black armor that seemed to absorb light. Their faces were hidden behind helmets that looked like skulls. They moved like shadows given form. But Jinwoo recognized something in how they walked, how they held their weapons, how they positioned themselves. Humans, he whispered. One of them spoke. The voice was filtered through the helmet, but it was warm and familiar. Daehyun, are you hurt? No, Daehyun replied. Just tired of waiting. The lead figure touched something on his helmet. The skull-like face disappeared, revealing a young man with kind eyes and a hard jaw. Captain Dong Hyun, Earth Defense Corps Special Operations, he said. We're here to take you home. The energy barriers around the human cells disappeared with a soft hum. Jinwoo stepped out carefully, as if he couldn't believe it was real. Daehyun walked out calmly, like he had been expecting this all along. Are you both healthy? Captain, Dong Hyun asked. They didn't hurt us, Jinwoo said quickly. They were just studying us. Dong Hyun's expression darkened. Studying you? Like lab animals, Daehyun said quietly. One of the other soldiers, a woman, removed her helmet. Her name tag read Sergeant Na-young. Her face was gentle, but her eyes were hard as steel. The medical team is standing by, she said. We'll get you checked out once we're back on the fleet. How did you find us so fast? Jinwoo asked. We never lost you. Dong Hyun replied. Every human carries nano-trackers in their bloodstream. We knew exactly where you were from the moment they took you. Then why didn't you rescue us sooner? Dae-hyun answered before Dong-hyun could. Because they were learning. Dong-hyun nodded. Command wanted to understand their capabilities, their technology, their intentions. And? Dae-hyun asked. And now we know what we're dealing with. Through the ship's communication system, they could hear Captain Bora trying to contact her. Crew, her voice sounded panicked. All stations report. Security teams respond immediately. Sergeant Na-young touched her earpiece. Captain, the ship is secured. No casualties on either side. How many crew? Dong-hyun asked. 47 aliens total. All detained and unharmed. Jin-woo looked surprised. You captured the entire ship? Standard rescue protocol, Dong-hyun said. Overwhelm, secure, extract. They walked through the corridors of the Harmony's edge. Everywhere they went, Jin-woo saw human soldiers standing guard. The aliens sat quietly under guard, looking confused and frightened. Dr. Tae-min was in the medical bay, surrounded by human scientists who were studying his equipment. He looked up as they passed. The humans you study, he called out. They were not specimens, were they? Dae-hyun stopped. No, he said. We were bait. Bait? Every species the Coalition has encountered surrendered after first contact. You expected us to do the same. Dr. Taemin's wet green skin looked pale. But you didn't. Humans don't surrender, we adapt. They reached the docking area where human ships had attached to the alien vessel. Jin-woo stared in amazement at the cutting work. The humans had sliced through the Coalition ship's hull like it was paper. How? He asked. New technology. Sergeant, Na-young said, developed specifically for this type of operation. You built weapons just to rescue us? We built weapons to make sure this never happens again. As they boarded the human ship, Jin-woo felt overwhelmed. The rescue vessel was sleek and efficient, but it felt like home in a way the alien ship never had. Admiral Ye-jin was waiting for them in the briefing room. She was older than Jin-woo expected, maybe 50, with gray hair and kind eyes that had seen too much. Welcome back, she said simply. Jin-woo bowed deeply. Thank you, Admiral. Thank you all. You don't need to thank us, she replied. We don't leave our people behind. What happens now? Dae-hyun asked. Now we have a conversation with the Coalition. She led them to the bridge. Through the main screen, they could see the alien fleet. Coalition ships had arrived, dozens of them. They surrounded the human fleet in a show of force. But the humans didn't seem concerned. Admiral Ye-jin came a voice over the communication system. This is Coalition Fleet Commander Mortex. You have illegally boarded one of our vessels and taken our crew prisoner. Admiral Ye-jin activated the reply system. Commander Mortex, your people kidnapped 2 human civilians. We responded, appropriately. They were acquired for scientific study under first contact protocols. No, Admiral Ye-jin said firmly. They were people, and you took them without consent. That makes you criminals under human law. Human law does not apply to Coalition space. It does now. The silence that followed was tense. Finally, Commander Mortex spoke again. What do you want? First, an apology to our people for what you put them through. Impossible. The Coalition does not apologize to primitive species. Admiral Ye-jin looked at Captain Dong-hyun. He nodded and spoke into his communicator. All ships, demonstrate. Protocol 7. Around the Coalition fleet, space seemed to ripple. Suddenly there were not 40 human ships, but 400. They appeared from nowhere, surrounding the alien vessels completely. Stealth technology, Dr. Tae-min whispered, from his detention area. They had ships here all along, but it was more than that. As the alien sensors tried to count the human vessels, the numbers kept changing. Ships seemed to multiply, to phase in and out of existence. Holographic projectors, Sergeant Na-young explained to Jin-woo. Each ship can create dozens of false images. The enemy never knows which targets are real. Commander Mortex's voice returned, much less confident. This is concerning. How many ships do you actually have? Enough, Admiral Ye-jin replied. We can contact the full coalition fleet. Thousands of ships. Go ahead. We'll wait. The confidence in her voice made Jinwoo shiver. She wasn't bluffing. Admiral, he said quietly, can we really fight the entire coalition? We don't want to fight them, she replied. We want them to understand us. Understand what? Daehyun answered. That taking humans is a mistake they won't make twice. Hours passed. The coalition fleet grew as more ships arrived, but for every coalition vessel that appeared, the humans seemed to have two. The alien commanders began to realize they were not facing a primitive species with a few lucky weapons. They were facing a military machine that had been preparing for this moment since first contact. Finally, Commander Mortex requested a private channel with Admiral Yejin. Your species, he said. You've been planning this. Planning what? War with the coalition. No, Admiral Yejin said. We've been planning to survive contact with the coalition. It's the same thing. No, it's not. If we wanted war, your ships would already be debris. Then what do you want? Respect. Recognition that humans are not subjects for study, and a guarantee that this will never happen again. The Coalition Council will never agree to treat a new species as equals. Then the Coalition Council has a problem. The negotiation took days. In the end, the Coalition agreed to treat humanity as a full member species rather than a client race. They also agreed to return all data collected from the human prisoners and to pay reparations for their illegal detention. As the fleets prepared to part ways, Dr. Taemin requested permission to speak with Daehyun one last time. I studied your people, he said through the communication link. I thought I understood you. What did you learn? That understanding and knowledge are different things. I knew facts about humans, but I didn't understand what those facts meant. Which was that your species doesn't just fight to win. You fight to make sure the fight never happens again. Daehyun nodded. That's why we're dangerous, Doctor. Not because we're violent, but because we're thorough. As the human fleet prepared to return to Earth, Jinwoo stood on the bridge looking at the stars. Will they really leave us alone now? He asked. Admiral Yejin joined him at the viewport. Some will. Others will be curious about us, but they'll all remember one thing. What's that? That humans keep their promises. When Daehyun said they were all dead, he wasn't making a threat. He was giving them a chance to choose their fate. And they chose wisely. The human fleet jumped to hyperspace, leaving the coalition vessels alone with their thoughts and their new understanding. In the depths of space, word spread quickly through the galactic community. There was a new species among the stars. They looked small and weak, but appearances could be deadly. They were called humans, and they had one simple rule. Don't take what belongs to them. It was a rule the galaxy would remember for a very long time.